Happening right now, a new warning from the FBI. More and more people are impersonating ICE officers.
Hundreds of flights across the country are canceled this morning. It's all because of the government shutdown. How passengers are coping, coming up.
We're looking at some of those spots where we have some foggy conditions. We're going to track your drive if your plans take you right on the border of LA and Orange County.
And a call for help after more than 100 birds are found covered in oil. The KTLA 5 Morning News at 5 a.m. starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, on a Friday. Taking a live look outside. We have some low clouds. We have some fog. You're going to see a little bit of fog development throughout the morning hours. In fact, much of that fog has already moved onshore. So there will be pockets where the visibility is going to be a little bit obscured, and we'll get a slower start to the sunshine. But we do get the sunshine, and we do end up with a beautiful warm afternoon. What a way to start out the weekend with mid-80s. 76 for you in the high desert, inland Orange County, 81, some of the foothills, mid-80s. So really nice weekend on tap for us. Yes, you might say, it doesn't feel like fall when we start talking about mid-80s and low 90s, which we could have tomorrow. But, Ginger, it is what it is, and there'll be changes next week, maybe a chance of rain by the end of next week. I'll show that to you on the 7 day in just a few minutes.
Yeah, that is something that's going to affect everyone's commute if we get a little bit of that light rain. Remember that oil comes up and it can be dangerous. So I'm already thinking about how early I want to set my alarm. You're going to have to do the same. Now, we've been looking at the cameras, right, to show us some areas of fog. But in the case of the 10 freeway, at westbound side of the 110, we don't have reduced visibility, maybe just a fog layer that is surprising to some people. But this is a case where we know there's a crash that's still sitting in lane. So it's a fairly busy drive here. And then it looks like the connector to that 110 South may be occupied by some kind of work that should be in the final stages. Moving you and taking you to look at that 605, the southbound side, right here at the 405, the wreck that's still here. It looks like it involves at least 2 cars. There's actually kind of a lot of construction. Let's see, top of 5, it wraps up at 5 o'clock. A lot of construction that's happening here. You see some of the purple lines. But remember, the area here, not too foggy. It's once you get a little bit farther to the north that things will start to tighten up with some of that thick fog. Reduced visibility, but not terrible, not terrifying like it has been. We'll watch all the things that will pop and jam up your ride on your Friday. I'll send it back to you, too.
All right, Ginger, thank you. Beginning today, the FAA cutting flights at major airports nationwide, including 2 local ones in Southern California.
Yeah, it's all because of the government shutdown. KTLA's Eric Spillman is live at LAX with those details. Eric, good morning.
Yeah, here we go. Good morning to you, Megan. Good morning, Chris. This is just the first day, and this is already having an impact on travelers. Nationwide, some 810 flights have been canceled today, and 51 flights have been canceled here at LAX so far this morning. It is all because of the government shutdown. Now, the FAA is reducing flights by 10% nationwide. It's happening at something like 40 of the biggest airports across the country, including here at LAX. We're also talking about San Francisco, Newark, JFK, and airports in Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. This is happening gradually. Starting today, 4% of the flights are being scratched. That number will gradually increase to 10% by next Friday. Why is this happening? Well, there's a shortage of air traffic controllers. That has been a problem for a long time, but the shutdown has made things a lot worse. Those controllers are not getting paychecks, so many of them are calling in sick or taking side jobs to make extra cash. Trump administration officials say in order to keep the skies safe, the airlines have to reduce air traffic, and that means cutting flights. Travel experts say flights to smaller airports are the most likely to be canceled.
Each passenger will get a notification as to which flights are canceled and what their recourse is, which may not be a lot, because remember, it's all about connecting flights for so many people. And if you can't make your connecting flight, you can't make your onward flight, or vice versa.
In Washington, Democrats and Republicans are blaming each other for what's happening. Democrats say cutting flights nationwide is meant to pressure them to end the shutdown. Republicans say no, it's about safety. Travelers leaving LAX are wondering if they're going to have a way to come back home.
We're good right now on the way to San Francisco, but potentially on the way back, I think we might encounter some problems. So fingers crossed, hopefully that doesn't happen.
It makes me nervous to even travel because What if I don't make it back? I have a job to tend to. I have my pets to come home to, my family. So if I don't make it home, what do I do?
One of those passengers you just heard from, the guy who was traveling to San Francisco, he says he's reserving a rental car there just in case his flight back home is canceled. He's ready to drive back to Los Angeles from San Francisco. Now, most airlines are offering passengers the option of rebooking their flights without any penalty. But as we get closer to Thanksgiving, the flights are booked, so there aren't a whole lot of options for people the closer we get to the holidays. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Eric, thank you. The FBI urging ICE agents to identify themselves after a string of impersonators committed violent crimes across America. The FBI has issued a memo. It did so last month, suggesting federal immigration agents clearly identify themselves while they're in the field. FBI agents say there have been a string of incidents where masked criminals posing as ICE agents robbed and kidnapped victims. The FBI says this damages trust between law enforcement and the community. The agency now calling for public awareness campaigns about imposters. The FBI also wants ICE agents to show their identification when asked. There's been no response from the Department of Homeland Security.
Nearly 100 birds are being treated at the International Bird Rescue in San Pedro. This after they were found coated in oil. The birds are linked to a mile-wide oil slick off the coast of Santa Barbara. Workers are drying the birds out before putting them in a therapy pool. Once that's done and they're healthy, they'll be released.
Because right now these birds will be beaching themselves. They are getting oiled. That makes them cold very fast. They stop eating, and within literally a couple of days, their chance of survival will be very much dependent on people recognizing the problem and picking them up.
Because the oil slick was found to be natural and not man-made, the financial burden for helping the birds falls on the rescue. You can donate to help with their care by going to birdrescue.org.
All right, good morning, everybody, on a Friday. Let's talk about your weekend. We could be looking at a beach weekend, a mountain weekend, desert weekend, valley. I mean, just about anywhere. There is any place that you want to go here in Southern California. Weather is going to cooperate. We'll get a little warm in some spots, but overall, very, very comfortable conditions. 60 degrees for you downtown. 24-hour change. Well, we are 4 degrees warmer, and we do have a little bit of a cloud coverage. We'll end up a little bit warmer today as a result. Yesterday, 75, average 75. We look for very nice conditions. We do get hot days in early November. You can see the record, it was 95 degrees. We were 20 degrees from that. So anticipating a weekend warm up, not unusual to still get warm weather in November. But we will get a cool down next week, and we will get a chance of some rain in there as well. We have a wind advisory in effect. Isolated in through Ventura, Santa Barbara counties. That's where the main kind of threat of some stronger winds will be. We will see some stronger winds developing up in the high desert and even the low desert areas as we head through your weekend. You could see the offshore flow development right there as we get into Saturday evening. But overall, fairly quiet forecast. It is a warming forecast. It starts today. 85 in Chino, Riverside 84, Palm Springs 92, Temecula 85. Good stuff here. Inland Orange County, 81, 81, 86. Then we get to 88. Now, you'll notice on Tuesday, back to the average or right around it, and then below the average. And Thursday gives us a chance of some rain. Thursday, Friday, looking like we will see a storm close enough to get some measurable rain out of the forecast. But before we get there, San Fernando Valley, 91, 93, 88. That is a stretch of 3 days with temperatures well above the average. San Gabriel Valley, you'll do the same thing. Right around 90 degrees for your Sunday and Monday. So whatever your plans are, if you do have outdoor plans on Sunday, it will be warm. Mountain communities, you're not going to see the big extreme, but you do see a warm up into the 70s. Great mountain weather. I know we're all anticipating waiting for the snow to fall, skiers, snowboarders, but don't forget, it's always a great time to go to the mountains. You can do some hiking. And they have the magic carpet ride there in Ginger, which is the roller coaster that they have. And the bobsledding right there in Big Bear, so that's always fun. Something to think about. Anyway, we'll send it over to you.
traffic brought to you by Hyundai.
Magic Harbor ride, you had me there. Wow, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is great too. And this is such a wonderful time of the year. You have so many things that you can do. You go to the mountains, and the same day you can hit the beaches, right? We're so fortunate. Now, we have a situation though that has developed, and so we're a little bit unlucky, I will say, when it comes to our traffic. We have this signal that was issued. We told you about it earlier, right, with a stalled semi. But, you know, it's a situation where it may have turned into something more than that. They are saying the 3 right lanes are blocked. 60 eastbound side at Diamond Bar Boulevard. And so they're expecting this one to go until about 6:06 or so, just a little after 6, as they try to get some of those units to the scene and then clear it and get it out of your way. The 605 south at the 405 taking you back to look at that wreck that's in lanes. I mean, there is a minor delay here. Remember, there's so much construction that's actually not happening anymore, but will happen later on in the overnight hours, right? We're tracking the airports with both our Eric Spillman and Carlos Herrera. The thing is, the drive here at LAX, which could get busier later on. We talk about Fridays. We talk about everything that's going on, right, in terms of possible delays, cancellations. But actually trying to get to LAX is looking pretty good, free-flowing and open. And then trying to, you know, getting on the freeways, that looks like a decent ride as well. We're going to watch and keep track of the things that will pop and jam up your ride on this Friday. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Ginger, thank you. A federal judge ordering SNAP benefits be fully funded starting today.
But the Department of Justice could put a stop to that ruling, or at least challenge it. We're live with what you need to know.
And new footage shows the moment the deadly UPS plane, that plane crashed in Kentucky. We'll show you.
Also, the sport that is set to return to the Olympics for the first time in more than 128 years when we come back.